by detecting early cancer, the benefits of mammography far outweighs the theoretical risk.
When a patient has been diagnosed with a malignant tumor in her breast, metastatic workup is carried out before surgical planning. In early stage 1 and 2, only chest X-ray, ultrasound of the abdomen and LFT are carried out. Bone scan if LFT is abnormal or there are bony symptoms. In stages 3A and 3B, which is locally advanced breast cancer, PET-CCT or CCT of the chest and abdomen and a bone scan is indicated according to the NCCN guidelines. In early stage 1 and 2, surgical removal of tumor and ipsilateral lymph nodes, if involved, is the first step. Surgical options include breast conservative surgery and mastectomy. Unlike earlier times, a radical mastectomy can now be avoided in many cases. In breast conservation surgery, only 1 cm of the normal surrounding tissues are removed, followed by radiation to the remaining breast. The patient also has the option of breast reconstruction surgery, which is done at the same time or later by attaching tissues taken from her back or abdomen. A meta-analysis has proven that there is no difference in the overall survival between radical mastectomy and breast conservation surgeries. The decision regarding mastectomy, surgery of breast conservation surgery, and sentinel node must be made by experts in the field for better results. If ipsilateral axillary node not clinically palpable, a sentinel node is done at the same time of the surgery with immediate frozen section. If sentinel lymph node is not involved with cancer, the rest of the axillary lymph nodes from 10 to 13 number are not removed. This has improved the quality of life of such patients with considerable reduction in lymphedema of the arm, sensory loss of the arm, and restricted shoulder movements. Advantages of breast conservation surgery with only sentinel node has the advantage of quicker recovery and better psychosocial adjustment. Of late, we have been treating many younger patients from 29 to 40 years of age. Here, the breast cancer is biologically different, is more often aggressive. There are additional issues of fertility, management of inherited breast cancer syndrome, maintenance of bone health, and secondary prevention.
After surgery, we have to examine all the aspects of the patient's condition before deciding upon the best course of therapy. Most women with tumors larger than 1 centimeter would require chemotherapy unless she falls in an extremely low risk category. If the tests show positivity for estrogen or progesterone receptors, hormonal therapy with drugs like tamoxifen and aromatase inhibitors is indicated after the completion of chemotherapy. If the tumor is positive for the HER2 receptor, trastuzumab is to be used for around 1 year. Radiation therapy can be planned either in between or after the completion of the chemotherapy cycles. In some cases, chemotherapy may be planned prior to the surgery itself. This helps us better understand the effectiveness of the chemotherapeutic drug in that tumor. All patients dread the side effects of chemotherapy and radiation. These treatments do not come without their side effects, but we now have powerful drugs that reduce the intensity of these effects. These include antiemetics to reduce or prevent the nausea and vomiting, steroids to avoid reactions, and effective painkillers for the pain. Latest advances have now equipped us with targeted therapies that are directed to kill the malignant cells and protect healthy tissue to a large extent. Many new drugs are currently under development. New tumor targets are being evaluated, and we hope to see many more improvements in the outlook for women with breast cancer in our lifetime itself. Breast cancer is not a death sentence. Countless brave survivors bear testimony to the efficacy of modern medical treatment.
I think I have come across a lot of women who avoid screening because they are scared to, find something. I would say twice lucky. One, that I went at the time that I did. Two, that even if I had a lump, it was a really tiny one.
I was lucky. I went for my mammogram and my tumor was detected at a very early stage. I didn't need chemotherapy. My breast was saved and I was in the hospital just for 1 day.
I had the chemo, I had the radiation, I had the hair fall, I had the nausea, I had, everything that was there with it. But it always seemed to me that it would pass.
And I'll be talking about my wife, Anjali, who couldn't make it, but I'd like to share her story. She was only about 29 or 30 when she was diagnosed, and there was a little lump in her breast. And like everybody, we go to a gynecologist who is in the family. So we went to a family-known doctor. We felt a little more comfortable and the trust. And when we went, she felt it, and it was a small one, and she said, I think this is hormonal, and it'll go with time. You don't need to worry. After about 8 months or 6 months maybe, we checked it again, it had grown, and she said, okay, you're just too young to get cancer. But we were a little worried, and by the time we got the proper FNAC done, and it was diagnosed, that it was cancer after all. Doctors, please do not neglect women, especially with lumps, at any age.
During chemotherapy, I had nausea, diarrhea, weakness. I also lost my hair. But it all passes. I got my hair back. This is my own hair. And the best thing is, I'm alive. I lead a normal life, a happy and a healthy life.
I'm very proud to say that today I don't feel as if I ever had breast cancer. I feel as if it was some external lump which was just removed and I'm just carrying on with life as normal. In fact, better.
Each of these women is at risk from breast cancer. Urbanization and change of traditional lifestyles is pushing up the rates of incidence. We have to fight it by staying vigilant and giving due importance to the most minute sign or symptom. We have to join the crusade against breast cancer.